Example number 1. A freight train starts from Los Angeles and heads for Chicago at 40 miles per hour. 2 hours later, a passenger train leaves the same station for Chicago traveling at 60 miles per hour. How long will it be before the passenger train overtakes the freight train? Okay, so our first step is to visualize the movement of our object or of the train. So in this case, we have two moving objects, the freight train and the passenger train. Okay, so let's try to visualize and understand the movement, because in understanding the movement of our object, we can easily um, compose our equation or our unknown. So if we have two moving objects, the freight train and the passenger train, based on the statement, 2 hours later, a passenger train leaves. So the freight train moves ahead of the passenger train, but they differ in speed. We have 40 miles per hour for freight train and 60 miles per hour for our passenger train. But the freight train leaves ahead. So 2 hours later, moves ahead. Okay. In order for us to compose our equation, like in our number problems, we use the time rate distance box. In using this time rate distance box, of course, this is one of the technique in order for us to solve time rate distance problem easily. So we are comparing two moving object, the freight train and the passenger train. Okay, but before we fill out our box or our table, let's understand our movement of our object of the two trains. If the passenger train leaves 2 hours later, it means that the moment the passenger train overtakes freight train, because passenger train have more speed compared to freight train. We have 40 miles per hour and 60. It's obvious that the passenger trains move faster. But the moment the passenger train overtakes our freight train, both of the train have equal in what? Yes, they are in equal in distance. They are equal in distance. Now, how can we formulate our equation based on the visualization of the moving object? So we fill out. So for fill out, we let we let x be our time. Okay? So we let x be our time. So based on our statement, 2 hours later the passenger train leaves the same station. Therefore, if we write our equation, the passenger train is for have our x, and our freight train we have x plus 2. Why x plus 2? Because the freight train leaves ahead of time. So he consumed the 2 hours in order for freight train and passenger train to meet each other, to to overtake the freight train by the passenger train. Okay, how about for our rate? Rate is already given. We have 40 and 60. The passenger train move faster. Now, applying the formula, we multiply the time and the rate. So we have 40 times the quantity x plus 2, and for the passenger train we have 60x. Since freight train and passenger train have equal in distance, therefore we can equate our our equation of both of moving object. Okay, so first we need to understand our formula before doing that. Okay, if we have our time rate distance is equal time times rate is equal to d. If both, for example, if this is our d1 and this is our d2, If d1 and if the distance is equal, therefore d1 and d2 is equal, right? Yes. Okay. So if d1 is equal to d2, now d1 from our formula, that is t1 r1 is equal to t2 r2, right? That is how we set up our equation comparing the two objects based on the the given condition that both train have equal in distance. So this can be our equation. That is our equation. So based on our given, if we write our equation, so that is T1 and R1, or R1, this is T1. So that's how to understand the movement of our time, rate, distance box. Okay, we're going to set up our equation now. We're going to equate both distance. That is 40 times the quantity x plus 2 is equal to 60x. So this one represent our passenger train, and the other side represent our passenger train. The other side is our freight train, and this one is our passenger train. Doing so, solving for x, that is 40x plus 80 is equal to 60x. We transpose 40x to the other side, that is 80, that is 20x. Now our x is equal to 80 over 20. Therefore, that is 4. What is our unit? Hours. So that is 4 hours. X is the time, 4 hours. How long it will be? It will take 4 hours for the passenger train to overtake our freight train. Okay. To check if our solution is correct, we substitute back our 4 hours to our equation. So this is our equation. We substitute back our 4 answer going here. So we have 4, 6, 6 times 40, that is 2. Okay, 6 to 4. Oh, the same. They have the same value of answer. That is 240 on both sides. Okay, so I hope our example is clear. Again, time, rate, distance. If based on the formula, time times rate is equal to distance. If both are equal in distance, we can write this way. d1 is equal to d2. Now we can formulate our equation. Okay, so I hope it's clear. Let's move to our next example.